Scorpio, how you doing? Welcome to your Astroflower reading going from the 18th to the 24th of September. Yes, we're moving through one season to another. We're going through the equinox as well. And we've got the equinox readings on this channel next week as well. Thank you very much for being here. I hope you have a lovely reading. Let's just see what's going on with your overall energies. That's the card that wants to come out. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands. Healthy boundaries. Is it healthy boundaries? I think this is, I was saying earlier on to someone about sort of, even if it's during your autumn period, which you're in at the moment, in the last 3 months before your birthday, it is the autumn period. It is like watching, it's like a tree that watches the leaves gradually fall to the ground. And as they fall to the ground, it remembers each leaf and how it grew that year. And it's memories of that past year. And as that leaf goes to the ground, then it turns into compost, and then it feeds the roots of the dreams of tomorrow. And this is very important time of the year, especially for you at this moment in time, because you're in that autumn period. You're sort of a month away now from your sort of birthday season, and it does start from your birthday as such. And it's a question of rhythm of energies, basically. And the energy is sort of slowing down and stuff like that for you. But don't forget to put one foot in front of the other. And that's what's important in this card here. This person here is actually, they're still heading off down their pathway. They're still following that sort of that passion that they've had throughout the year. But there's also those Eight of Wands behind them, and that's all the messages you get about the past year, which marks a season from one season to another. And those are healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries can be positive as much as negative. Healthy boundaries could be sort of a situation kind of going, I don't want to live that again. But also it could be a healthy boundary sort of saying, I would have liked to live that better, and I'm going to do that better this year. And I think this is the overall energy for you this week. It's giving you a real sort of glimpse into what has the past has brought you, what you could have done better, what you could have not done at all, what things you'd like to do in the future, what things you don't want to continue doing, all of those sort of things. And this is as much as on relationships as on your sort of financial sort of side. So a good week of reflection. Take time out for yourself, make sure you get a bit of meditation and stuff like that. But then also life does carry on. So how is life carrying on? On your relationship side, you have on your karmic message patience, and it pretty much backs up what I said here. Mulling over things. See how she's sort of like she's pouring that angel. I don't think this gender is specific on this one, but she's pouring water from one cup to another. And it's like that idea of just sort of tossing ideas around. She's got 1 foot in water and 1 foot on the land as well. It's having 1 foot in the past and 1 foot in the future as it's coming through. 1 foot on the emotional side of life, that's the rivers, and 1 foot on the solid side of life and how we apply our emotions in life. That's what she's mulling over, basically. And I think this is a good moment of reflection for you this week, and it's in your karmic message to reflect this week with the energies that's going through. How's the universe influencing you? You got the Five of Wands there. Yeah, it could be a thing of conflict. Is the universe trying to have picking a fight with you? No, I don't think so. The universe doesn't get into that sort of thing. A little bit above that sort of thing. But what it's saying here is actually that person there, if you can well see, that person there has extracted that wand from the rest of the other people. And it leaves that Four Wands behind. So they're extracting themselves from what can sometimes seem like the complicated past year. This is what it's all about. And how you engaged in it, how you fought, how you you argued your side and stuff like that, because we all do it, don't believe we don't, we all do it, and how you sort of engaged in life. This is how I think how the universe is trying to encourage you here, and it's encouraging you to extract yourself from that and also just be the best example of yourself more than anything else. Kind of sort of saying, and be honest with yourself. You know, there's things in my life in this year that's gone past. I am not in my autumn period as yet. I'm coming to it, but I can certainly look at things in my past year and sort of said, it should have been better there. I shouldn't have been so angry there, or I shouldn't have been so frustrated there. And it's observation, and we can learn that from ourselves. And if you can extract that and learn from it, then therefore you shouldn't repeat it. And it should make life better and better and better and better. So here I think the universe is encouraging you to do that, to extract yourself from the past and just see the best example of who you really are, you know what I mean? The beautiful Scorpio that you are, you know. Let's just see how the past is influencing you. Yeah, I think you've done a lot of work actually. I think you've done a lot of work on yourself. I would, if I was Scorpio, I'd be looking back and I would probably be proud of what I've done over the year. You know, nothing's perfect. Perfection does not exist. But here, I think you've done a lot of work, long-term work, big foundation work within regards to your emotions, your love, your relationships, everything like that. And it's been a long-term plan. You know, that field in the background there is ploughed up. And you've done all this ploughing, and it's now casing. You're coming into this autumn here, and it's kind of sort of saying, what seed do I want to plant in those fields for next year? And the past is helping you to do this. It's also helping you to recognise the good work that you've done, the good, honest, hard work that you've done on yourself and within the world around you. You know, you can adjust yourself for everybody and their triggers and their sort of emotional, you know, sort of shortcomings, because we all have them, as much as your good selves as myself, you know. But you can't, you know, you can't do it for them. You can't live for another person. So I think here is just recognizing, you know, where you've done some very good work upon yourself and how you want to build on it in the future. Okay, in your future self, what is your sort of like, what are you gazing towards? This is perfect in a way, really, for you this week, Scorpio. As much as we look at the past, the reason we look at the retrospection is to move forward. It's like when you're driving in a car, and you're driving in a car and you want to overtake someone or double someone, you know, overtake them. And first thing you do is check in your mirrors, surely, to see what's behind you, making sure you can pull out and go round them. That's the idea. So you respect, so then therefore you can move better forward. And I think this is all about sort of, you know, when you have those free moments, when you're not meditating and you're living life, that's where you should be starting walking towards your future, your beautiful future, because you've done a lot of work. And what do you want in the way of, the funny thing is look, right, that Temperance card has got 2 cups that she's mulling things over. That is her karmic path. You know, that's your, sorry, that's on the wrong side. Karmic path, there it is there. That's on your karmic path. That's what you've been sort of mulling over. And your future self here is now the same thing. She's got 1 foot in the water, 1 foot on the land. And she's actually pouring now the water into both the, you know, from the jugs or the cups into the water and onto the land. It's making for a very fertile future. And this is where you can plant that seed in your surroundings, so you could get the fruits from your relationships in the coming year. And I wouldn't be, this is it, but this card here, certainly, because it's a perfect connection between the two, she's actually got the star in her third eye. So she's looking for that star, and you have got it in full view within you. So your karmic message is sort of mull things over, yes, but keep an eye on the goal. And I wouldn't sell yourself short. I would really, if you're going to dream big. Why not? You know, in a way, it's especially at the moment. you know, if you're going to ask the universe for something, let's say you're going to ask them for sort of finances to do projects and stuff like that, I wouldn't ask for $2. I'd ask for $2 billion. You know, and if $200,000 turn up, then, well, you know, you'd have to do with what you got. I think there's a case of being realistic. Yes, I do. You know, maybe that's a bit ridiculous, $2 billion. You know, being realistic is really important when trying to manifest things. But at the same time, I wouldn't try to cut corners. That's what I'm trying to say. You know, be honest with yourself. Be honest of what the project's going to cost you and stuff like that. And it's the same thing within your relationships here. You know, be honest with yourself what you want to put into a relationship and what you want to get out of a relationship. And that's when you can then start aiming for that star. What's the overall outcome for it? Ace of Cups. If you do this type of work this week, this coming week, that's what the outcome is. It's you offering your heart, offering your cup to someone, and someone offering their cup to you. And that's what makes the Two of Cups. Yeah. So ultimately, I would not hold back on your dreams. I would dream big at the moment if I was you, Scorpio, in regards to your relationships. You know, I would ideally say, this is the ultimate version of relationships that I wish to have. And keep that in mind. On your work, projects and business and stuff like that, you have the King of Swords, and this is on your karmic message here. So this is a clear vision, this is a judgment, this is wisdom as well, through judgment, through recognizing situations, seeing where it works and doesn't work, but also sort of seeing where it's good and where it's not good, everything like that, everything that has to do with judgment, basically, within the mental sort of state, so in a very logical sense, without emotions attached to it. And in your workspace, this is absolutely perfect. And especially you're going into the last sort of last month, couple of months of your autumn period, and this is where you can get that clarity, that judgment within where you are going on your path in regards to your job, your business and your projects. And having that clear judgment and being honest with yourself is really important here. You know, don't kid yourself. And I don't think you can do here, because the karmic message is sort of so clear and defined, and giving you a judgment call upon yourself, upon the last year that's gone through, of what you've done within your business, within your job, within all of those sort of aspects there. Okay? If you've already started businesses and stuff like that, that's absolutely fine. If you're looking at starting a business, I would look to start it just after your birthday more than now, because you're coming into just before your birthday period, and it can sometimes be a bit difficult to start projects in the last month and a half before your birthday. So I would just be a little bit wary of that. If you've already started projects in the last couple of months, yeah, keep ploughing on through, because they're part of last year now, if you know what I mean. They're a continual thing, they're a long-term plan. So yeah, your karmic message is to be absolutely clear with your judgment. The universe here is giving you the Seven of Cups, revelation. And I think they're revealing the evident path. They're revealing the part of the path that makes you feel good about what you're doing. And you know as well as I do, when you feel good about your work, you do better work. It's like, I'm a bit of a soccer fan. I would say a Sunday soccer fan. I grew up in London. Did I just drop a card there? I did indeed, you know. Hang on a second. New paradigm really coming up for you. Yeah, get back to my soccer, shall I? Yeah, I was, I grew up in London. I used to go to Chelsea Football Club when we were in the second division, nearly into the third division. Nowhere near what we're like today. And it was absolutely brilliant. And I completely forgot what I was going to say then. About that card there, now that Four of Wands completely thrown me. Yeah, it's saying the evident path. So it was all about the evident path and how the universe is trying to help you sort of see the evident path And yeah, I completely spaced what I was talking about there. Gee whiz. I know what I was going to say now. Sorry about that. I just dropped that card. The four of wands. Right, yeah, back to football. Yeah, no. During the European Cup of Soccer in 2000, I think it was 20 years ago, and it was in the UK. And basically, obviously in the UK, people are very fanatical about soccer or football. Basically, because it was in the UK, everyone was watching matches, going to matches, and etc. People were actually working less. They were working on roughly around about 15% less in an average week over that European Cup. But production actually went up by 15%. Because everyone was really happy about working, and because the England was doing really well. I say England because there's also Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, and all of that. But England was doing very well, and this is encouraging the people to work a lot better actually. So you get a lot more production, and your life becomes a lot more productive when you have that enthusiastic, loving, sort of happy feeling about where you're going. Yeah, and that's what the Seven of Cups is all about. That's the evident path. Once you realize it, then you're going to realize that when you're doing things, if you're really kind of going, oh no, this is a pain in the backside, it's not going to help you on your career path. So I would use that in your valuation of where you're going in regards to your job, your business, and your projects basically this week. And be really clear about it. I think meditation for you is on a daily basis is a good idea at the moment. Let's just see where you're coming from. The Fool. Yeah, I think you have engaged in your career path and your finances and your business and etc. in a very particular way. Over the past sort of like 2 or 3 months, there's a changing of environment or changing of sort of air around you at the moment, where you have engaged it feels like you're engaging in your financial path in a very productive way. I'm dropping another card. This is mad. Hang on a second. Queen of Pentacles. Let me just pop her back in there. Yeah, so you've started this path, and it is a bit of a leap of faith, and it is pushing the boundaries. So it could be pushing the boundaries of learning about something, learning about a new aspect, which will help your career, or helping you to start a business, or helping you to start a project. And it could be like a YouTube channel, or could be sort of like starting sort of like renovating furniture and reselling furniture, revamping furniture, that sort of thing. Or renovating houses and selling houses and stuff like that. Whatever it is, it's a bit of a leap of faith. It's pushing you in a direction that's sort of like you've never really engaged in it on your side. What's your future self? This is beautiful. This is a very optimistic view here, Scorpio, and it seems like everything seems to be very optimistic. This is mainly here, this section here, as you can well see, this section here is the underwork, the underbelly of your work, really, of your life. And these 3 cards here are really to do where we are consciously involved more than anything else. And you've got this 10 of Cups, which is happiness after difficulty. And the happiness after difficulty is seeing the reality for what it is. That's why it's difficult. When we can't see what's going on, that's when life becomes a little bit difficult. And you can now, and I think within yourself, I think you're working towards this, and I think you can see clearly the reality of what is possible on your career path, your business and your projects and so forth. And it's making you feel enthusiastic about life. This is very nice reading, very, very constructive reading for you, Scorpio. Let the sun shine, let the sun shine in. 2 aces at the top. this is where you're heading. You're heading towards the two aces there. A very, very, very passionate future for you. It is, if you do this work, this is it. You know, I'm reading it in a way, I'm reading your cards here, and I could pull in a whole new set of cards and it can be completely different. What I'm trying to do here, and this is what we try and do on the Astroflower, I don't tell you, you know, I try and encourage, I'm an energy guy, right? So we can see that on Cymatic TV. I do energy updates. This is on my sister channel. It's all about energy, basically. And what these readings are trying to do here is trying to help you engage your energy in a way in your life which is conducive to the energy that is around you, so then therefore you can get the best or make the most of life around you. That's what the Astroflower is all about. It was a tool that was designed to help people, because I was doing healing, and I've been doing healing for a long time, seen a lot of people. And over the years I've started noticing rhythms and things like that which tied into the elements. And this is where I created the Astroflower, so I could give a very simple working model to my clients, so then they can then engage in life in a very proactive way. And once people do, and I do this with the healing sessions, once people do this and engage in a very practical way, they help to heal themselves. They make their life a lot more healthier. And that's without doing marathons every day. So this future here will depend on the work you actually do on yourself at the moment. There's no getting around it. And you won't shy away. You don't shy away from work, do you, Scorpio? There is no doubt about it. You don't shy away. All the Scorpios I know do not shy away from work when they've got to get it done. You know, so your future here, certainly in your financial world here, and I think this comes from the Fool as well, is a bit of a, you know, it is a leap of faith, and I think this is warranted. Out with the old and in with the new with this Ace of Wands, a very beautiful card, very passionate card about the future, something that's really coming up, you know. So yeah, we're going to do some clarifications on the Light Seers cards. Just like to say the dates are out for the UK workshop that I'm going to be doing. It's going to be from the 20th through to the 23rd of October. Those of you who have already sent me your emails in the UK, you should have received your email concerning that workshop. Some people have started booking up already, so thank you very much, and it's going to be great to see you on the 20th or the 21st of October. There is a link down in the description below to the Facebook page of the event, and also you know, so you can, and there's also a link to the email. You can email me if you're interested in receiving information about this. Please go ahead and send me an email, and I'll send you the information according to what's going on with those energy workshops. There's also the energy workshops in the US and Australia. Dates and vague, I say vague because it depends on the answering of people. The dates and vague locations are indicated on the email that I've sent out to people who've already sent me emails asking for sort of locations for workshops, energy workshops in the US and in Australia. So yeah, so and you can answer to that call as well. Okay, so yes, thank you very much for being here, more than anything else. Thank you very much for being here, supporting this channel in whichever way you do, really do appreciate it. Let's just get on with a bit of clarification here. Let's just see what's going on. The Nine of Wands, what's the Nine of Wands about? Queen of Swords, so she's backing up there. Queen of Swords, this is where she's got control over her emotions, as you can well see. She's, you know, that heart is well tucked away and the wind is blowing in her direction. She's using her mind, she's using that sword as a way of, like a rudder, to sort of guide her forward on and give that clear vision of where she's going. Like you're going down a set of rapids, You know, you're in your canoe. You may not be canoeing because you don't need to, because the water's going quite quickly, but you may have your canoe out the back, giving you canoe out the back. You're all out the back of your canoe in order giving you the direction to steer through or go through as you go down your pathway. And this is to do with those going around those rocks, basically having that clear vision to go around those rocks. And that is what that is all about. You know, those healthy boundaries in the background there is helping you to eliminate or avoid any sort of rocks in your pathway as you go forward. And it's realizing those rocks within you will give you that clear vision. So yeah, let's see what's going on with the Temperance card. Five of Swords. This is where in the Temperance, sort of the mulling things over, do not be scared to look at situations that you engaged with that were detrimental to you, so you can avoid being triggered like that in the future, basically. So as you do mull over things, don't mull over, and I think this is another thing to be said on here, don't mull over things. Don't reflect on the last year and kind of going, you know, that person there is a, you know, and I know, everybody can do it from time to time, but just avoid it, because you're just going to be beating yourself up, you know, wasting your time, wasting your energy, turning your energy sour, basically. So just recognize, you know, points in the past year which could have been conflictual that you realize you could have walked away from. And there you can realize your trigger moments within you, and in the future, you won't get triggered by it within your relationships. Okay? With the Five of Wands, this is it. It's once you start reaching and being the higher version of yourself, this is when the universe can offer you lots of abundance, lots of opportunities, lots of emotional rewarding sort of thing. And you can offer it as well to the universe. You know, there's a debate whether these cups are coming to this person or they are going from the person. I think it's a combination of the two. I think these cups are available, and you've just got to choose one at a time which you wish to use in your life. So being the best example of yourself, the universe is encouraging you to be the best example of yourself, extracting yourself from last year, in order for you to have access to all those beautiful gifts that could be around you in the coming year. Let's just see what's going on with the Knight of Pentacles. You own your path. No one else is on your path. You're the only one on your path. You know, even if you're in a really, really tight relationship, the paths may be next to each other, but at no point is one on top of the other. You know, and we have paths that cross over and everything like this. And I think this here is sort of saying you've done that work, you've done that beautiful work in order to, this is what you've done on that card there, you've done this beautiful work in order to be the master or stand in your power of your life, have control over what relationships you have control of how you engage in relationships, of which relationships you nurture, which relationships you want to plant the seeds of life in, you know. And you could, that's where you're coming from. You're coming from a very defined position and a clarity of vision, I think, for you, you know, a clarity of a point of departure in regards to your assessment of the last year. What's going on with the Star? Hey, Ace of Cups. This is where you're moving on to. This is, you've got your focus. You should be very focused on the dreamy, beautiful future that you can have. The ideal future, the ultimate future, what you could be having. Absolutely brilliant. It's reach for the stars, Scorpio. Reach for the stars within your spirit. Okay, with the Ace of Cups, you get the King of Pentacles. Very, very, this is another beautiful card to do with learning, understanding. You know, that person there has got, that king is sat there and they've got like loads of books behind them, so they've learned a lot about life, what life works mechanically, physically. And this is where you're combining your heart's desires by physically getting them involved or getting them implanted in your life in the future. And physically engaging them and physically living them. It's also a card of abundance of relationships, of family, because they've got that wolf there as well that's protecting them. They've got a lot of protection of their heart. I think if you do this work, this is where the protection will really come into play and really sort of make your life under your control, or within your, you're going to be able to steer that canoe very easily. Let's just see what's going on with the King of Swords. 8 of Pentacles. Good quality work. As I said, you're not scared of doing the work, Scorpio. You're not scared of engaging in it. And when you do, you've got your head down and you're going. As the French would say, you'd have your head in the steering wheel. And you're ploughing on through. And I think this is good quality work from you. Certainly if you take away the emotions and keep a very crystal clear vision of where you're going, allow that wisdom to come through you of what you've been doing over the past year, is going to make you work a lot better. Work smarter rather than harder. I think that is the ultimate karmic mission for you in this week here, because this is a week to work smarter. It certainly is. And then the hard work will come in, which will give you the rewards that you so deserve. Let's just see what's going on with the 7 of Cups. You got the Strength card. The strength is in your heart. The strength is in your engagement, in your financial world, your material world, your job, your business, and your projects. If your heart is strong, if you realize that, I love doing this, you're going to do some good work. Once you apply yourself in a really good way, and obviously you're going to, that's the beauty of this. Once you start realizing that, all of a sudden it's going to make you very determined to get your heart's desires where your where your work or your business or your projects are concerned. And your projects could be big personal projects, which could turn into a job as well. With the Fool, you get the Queen of Pentacles. Now we got the King and the Queen out, as much as we got the King and Queen of Swords out. They're on opposite sides here. There's something building up in the future. It'd be interesting to see what comes out in the Ace of Wands there. I think with this leap of faith, I think this is where you've over the past 2 or 3 months, I think there's a realization within you that you've got to mix things up, you've got to change things, or you've got to change the way in which you engage in life in order to get the best results. And now you're confident about that. Now you're starting to see the results of that change. Now you're starting to see that actually it's bearing fruit for you, and you know where you're going. And it's changed from something that's a bit of a risk now to something that's actually very solid. And this is where the reality comes in, and it gives you that 10 of Cups. It gives you that, you're starting to notice it, so then therefore you should start feeling a lot happier about where you're going. And you get the Knight of Pentacles, which you've had over on the far side as well. And yeah, because you're getting down to doing the work. I think this is what the reality is. It's making you feel very happy about your future, because you can see the reality of that section there that's coming through now. And you should be able to see it around you. If you can't, that's when you need to really rely on your clear vision about where you're going. Be very truthful with yourself. This is where you could use this autumn to be very productive, so you can see the reality for what it is, and it can make you very much more optimistic about your own personal future. But this is also talking about longer term plans as well. So you're happy. It seems like the things that you're putting into place are creating longer term solid and consistent futures for you, basically. And it is, I wouldn't say it's time to get on to work, it's time to recognize the potential that you have in you. That's what I think more than anything else. Let's just see what the Ace of Wands is all about. 9 of Cups, 9 of Pentacles. I'm just checking, seeing we didn't have the 9 of Pentacles. This is a beautiful card. this passion, if you engage this passion with that heart there, with that Ace of Cups, with that, well, that one of the cups out of the 7 there, and stay true to it, it's going to build consistent and perpetual rewards within your life, which is going to be really beautiful. And you're going to get really passionate about where you're going, basically. Opening up a passionate future that actually brings a lot of rewards for you. So there you go, Scorpio. Thank you very much for being here. Don't forget about those workshops that I said. If you want to be on those workshops, do give us send us an email, and you can go ahead and book your place. There is a link on the information that I sent out that you can actually book your place on the workshop. Yes, there's also Cymatic TV, my sister channel, which is, I do a channel about energy and about a lot of things that happen in my daytime job as a healer, as it were. So yeah, there's that also to see, and you've got your equinox readings coming out next week. There's so much going on. How do I get it all done? You'll find out on Cymatic TV, I'll tell you. Yes, so apart from that, yeah, thank you very much for being here with me. I hope you do enjoy these readings. I hope you get the best out of these readings. I hope they help you out. Commenting, liking, subscribing, of course, but also sharing. Sharing is really good across all media platforms, is really good. If you know a Scorpio that needs to hear this reading, send it to them. You know, help your friends out. You know, that's what it's all about. In the meantime, don't forget, life should be fun, so please do enjoy.